Hello, my name is Domenick Scudera, Professor of Theater here at Ursinus College. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this Spotlight on Maine, From Archives to Art, Bringing History to the Stage. I'd like to share with you my process of creating an original play for Ursinus' sesquicentennial, a play called The Complete History of Ursinus College Abridged. We start here in the Lenfest Theater of the Kaleidoscope Performing Arts Center. Just like a painter faces a blank canvas, I have to face a blank stage every time I try to conceive a project such as this. So the question is, where do you start? Where do you find inspiration to tell Ursinus' rich history? Well, as it turns out, there is plenty of inspiration throughout the campus. I'd like to take you on a tour to show you some of the spots that inspired me and the creative team for this play. If you look closely enough, the campus provides plenty of text that can be incorporated into a script. In the play, two characters are whisked away into a dreamlike world where an ensemble invites them to join the Ursinus Quest, the college's core inquiry-based curriculum. Since the characters are starting their journey in the play, I thought it would be best to start with the entrance of the college here at the Eager Gate. This location provided inspiration for our scenic designer, Megan Jones, who used this gate as the central part of her design. The walls themselves provide some of the dialogue for this section of the play. The words here, written in stone in 1925, give a sense of the college's mission and values. This gateway is a testimonial.
A testimonial to the value of learning and the worth of character.
An emblem of the beauty and strength in education.
A symbol of opportunity to all who enter and protection to all within.
Of course, history is much more than buildings and structure. Ursinus history is filled with fascinating people, including the first president of the college, the Reverend John Henry Augustus Bomberger. Now, most of us today only recognize him through Bomberger Hall, which was named after him, or from the portrait that hangs in the building. However, as a playwright, it's my job to try to bring him to life for audiences. And so to achieve this, I borrowed from the master of bringing history to life on the stage, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton. In fact, we did a parody of Hamilton by introducing Bomberger through a rap song.
Presenting the first president of Ursinus College, the Reverend Dr. John Henry Augustus Bomberger.
How does a pastor, a German reformer abolitionist, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in Pennsylvania, by Providence impoverished and squalid, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The minister, founding father seminarian.
One of the most important sources of inspiration for this play is right here, the college archives. The college archivist, Carolyn Weigel, provided an amazing array of materials that helped bring Ursinus' history to life.
Hello, welcome to the archives. I'm Carolyn Weigel, the college archivist. This is an autograph booklet from the Flora Ron Lentz collection. She was a student here during 1896, one of the first few females to attend the college in the early years. This is an autograph by Minerva Weinberger, signed Minnie, that was sent to her. She was one of the first two women graduates in 1884. But until we found this, we didn't realize that she was called Minnie by her friends.
This kind of material helped to bring more of Ursinus' historical figures to life for me. I knew Minerva Weinberger was the first female student admitted to the college, but I did not know much more. Seeing Minerva's handwriting and learning that she called herself Minnie helped me to see her as a real person, a young woman urged by her father to do something quite daunting and risky. From here, it was easy for me to imagine a scene with a young Minnie being promoted by her father for admission to the college.
I have set out to convince you that you are wrong about admitting women to the college. I believe in this so strongly, I'm willing to put my own daughter on the line.
Father?
Don't fear, Minnie. Please allow my daughter Minerva to come to the college by herself as an experiment.
Experiment? For the entire future of women in higher education?
Please. Pretty please.
Okay.
No pressure, Minnie.
The college archives also helped me to learn more about the college's many traditions. May Day, for instance, was a huge, popular annual event. However, we do not have a May Day anymore, and Carolyn helped to fill in the gaps of my knowledge.
These 5 boxes contain the May Day pageant collection. These are some of the programs that were printed. These are actually some of the costumes and buttons and things that were used. Something that was very much looked forward to on campus. It was a huge tradition, and it no longer exists.
In later years, these dances became more and more elaborate, with involving dozens of participants. These dances were followed by the Maypole Waltz.
Good morning, lords and ladies, it is the 1st of May. We hope you view our garland, it is so bright and gay. For it is the 1st of May, oh, it is the 1st of May. Remember, lords and ladies, it is the 1st of May.
I learned so much more about the history and traditions of Ursinus College through my research. For instance, this bear, which sits in the Helfrich lobby of the Floy Lewis Bake Center, was carved from a sycamore tree which once stood tall in the end zone of the football field. It was so unusual to have a tree in an end zone that became famous and was the source of inspiration for a question on the board game Trivial Pursuit.
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. We have a piece of Ursinus sports trivia for you. Parker Brothers asked this question in its all-American edition of Trivial Pursuit in 1993.
What is it?
I'm glad you asked, Samuel. The question is, what does Ursinus College have in its football end zone that no other college in the U.S. has? A 250-year-old sycamore tree!
Any visitor to the Ursinus campus is struck by the many sculptures throughout our small campus that are provided by the Berman Museum of Art. These sculptures, like this one, Weeping Walls by Richard Gottlieb, provided inspiration for our costume designer, Brian Strong, to create versions of the sculptures for our actors to wear. Like this one.
I, Dr. Philip and Muriel Berman. We believe art should be seen.
Sculptures should be in public places.
And art should be in the arena of learning, such as colleges and universities.
The artistic team and I were inspired by the buildings, the people, the traditions, and so much more when we were creating our play. It would take hours to recount all of the things that we learned and all of the things that we chose to put in the play. Instead of going on and on about all of those things, I think the best thing would be to invite you to watch the filmed version of the actual performance. I am hopeful that you will learn something too and be inspired by all of the wonderful elements that make up Ursinus and what it is today.